You're welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. Now, the debate on how to solve Accra's flooding problems continues. JoyNews' Matilda Womega visited Jamestown after Sunday's rain to find out how the rains affected traders and residents there. She reports of choked drains and water flowing into shops.
So right behind me is the Zoom Lion, right in action, trying to gather the filth that has been exposed following yesterday's rain. Within this part of Accra, that is within the Abosokai, the slightest rain, the whole place gets flooded. Yesterday, I'm told, due to the whole day rain, the entire place got flooded because of the drains that are very small. So due to that, this particular area was flooded, and this morning, the Zoom Lion is around to clear the debris that has been left as a result of yesterday's rain. But I have some people here who work within this place affected by yesterday's rain. From you, what do you think is the major cause of flooding within this particular place, within Abosokai?
And the major part is that if it rains, it comes from Kaneshi, Kasua, the street, the high street. So the pressure coming in, it gets to the point that it cannot flow through the roundabout wall. So everywhere gets flooded. But also here too, the problem we have here is the gutter. The gutter is too small, and at least we have to have a big drainage here, but the gutter is too small for the pressure that comes. So later you see that everywhere is flooded. That's why every time we have this problem every year.
And I'm told sometimes this rainwater even gets to your shops, it enters your things that you sell. How bad is it?
This thing that you are saying, let me tell you, it's about 10 years now. If it rains now, every shops, they lose their properties, everything. They lose because of the rain. If you get to the MTN, the same problem. They are facing the same pressure there. Everywhere is flooded. The stores, unless they remove their ties before they can remove the water before they can put back the store back. Because it's everywhere. Yeah, the problem we have here is more than 10 years now. So we are pleading the new AMA boss that has come. He should take this matter serious for us, because this problem has been here more than years. And we are keep on telling them, but we think that this AMA boss that has come, we are pleading to him that he should look at the Abosokai very well.
Thank you so much. I know you also work here. Yeah. You have your shop around this place. Yeah. This has been with you for like over 10 years, like your other colleagues said. Yeah. How do you think we can address this issue? You have shops around this place, and from what I can even see, I realize it really affected most of you who opened your shops yesterday. Were you here yesterday?
Yeah, I was not here yesterday, but the filthy and all this thing that we are seeing is not for the government or anybody. It's from one-on-one individual. You know what I mean? The government is supposed to make a heavy important law to implement so that people who are throwing like rubbish, like polythene bag, like pure water rubbish, they should know the way they can dump it. Anybody just throw anyhow. There's no any law that govern anybody in action when it's due. So when anybody just drink water, just pull it down here. When somebody to just pull it down, all this come.
You are here. What in your small way have you been doing to address some of this issue?
If somebody dispose something and you want to tell the person that what he's doing is not good, man, you'll get annoyed and insult you, because there's no law. There's nothing that force somebody that you don't need to put anybody.
Have you seen the drainage over there? It passes through, and this side have already choked. You see, so the water is not flowing very well. They're supposed to drill it very hardly for it to prevent the go away to the Kole River. Automatically, this road is major area to Kolebu, so it have already hung. You see, that's why they didn't have so always know it rain first, then here all choke. Because this thing, the dust and everything, the rubbers and everything have choked here, the other side here, and the major over here. So always here, there, flood area. From this area to this side, the side flood. Okay.
Matilda Womega there, but that's just a part of Accra, so you can tell the story across the board. I have in the studio here with me Archibald Kobna, who is director of the Greater Accra Region, Nadmo. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for coming. This is the second time we're hosting you in what?
Yeah.
In a month?
Yeah.
Is that so, or was it last month? Anyway,
yeah.
so the last time we met, you talked to us about the problems, and it appeared that you knew very well what the problem was because you had gone out there to check, to have first-hand information of what's happening there. Right now, what is the progress report?
Yes, I think that, like I told you, we're doing more of publicity.
Okay.
The problem is quite large, and we need all the various stakeholders on board so that we can have this problem solved. One is that all of us who are dumping refuse and waste into the drain, we all need to do something about it. We need to stop it immediately. Then also we need to make sure that our system, our legal system also needs to support us. Because if somebody does that and is arrested, already our prisons are choked. And we think that seriously we should put people to public service so that if you are found dumping waste into the drain, what we do is that once we are taken to court, then the court can get you to go back into the community, clean a certain drain or get you to do something within the various communities so that we all see the seriousness that we are talking about.
So talking about meeting the stakeholders with this the educational drive that you're embarking on, what has happened since the last time we had this conversation? Have you been able to meet them? What has the...
Yes, I've met some group of assembly members.
Okay.
We're working on the chiefs. Like I told you, that we want to do that within the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Some issues came up this week immediately regarding the ships that we had to attend to.
Okay.
And
which ships?
Some ships that had been docked and left and abandoned.
Okay, we'll get to that. So that's one of the issues that has prevented you from meeting with the stakeholders?
With the chiefs specifically.
Okay.
So we're pushing that to next week. And we're going to meet them. And I told you that you're going to be invited to that meeting. We've met the assembly members. We've informed them and asked them to make sure that they get to their various communities and get cleanup exercises organized.
Okay.
We've tried to also talk to some media persons so that they also help us in the public education system to get people to stop dumping into drains and also removing the kiosks and stores from waterways. All of these things will help us.
Are you not venturing into the area of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly? I mean,
you see, somehow it's not too much of we're all stakeholders.
Okay.
And
so
part of these struggle to make sure that we solve the problems of flood, we solve the problems of sanitation. I don't see it as venturing into other
But
areas.
is it something that I'm asking that because I want to find out what the collaboration is between Nadmo in Accra and the Accra Metropolitan Assembly? What is the collaboration like?
Very cordial. It's not only AMA, all the metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies. And of course, we have various Nadmo offices within the various assemblies and what have you. So we work together, we collaborate.
So in this, the meeting of the stakeholders in the educational drive that you want to embark on, is the AMA a part of it?
Yes, the assembly members are the members of the assembly.
Okay.
So sections of them that we have met so far, we have had discussion with them. We've also met some of the various areas within Ga East and other areas and spoken to them to get on the grounds.
Okay. Okay. Yesterday you were out. We understand that you were out when after the rain. What was your intervention able to prevent, would you say?
I think that the general observation that I saw is what we all know already. Fortunately, no lives was lost. And one major intervention was a billboard at the Atomic Junction that had dropped, and it was in the major way, the roundabouts at Atomic Junction. And therefore, I called into our operations office and quickly tried to mobilize some guys to get us to unscrew this huge billboard,
and then he got it
and we got it out of the way. Fortunately, the guys who are here have been monitoring the area when such rains happen with regards to the advertising agencies were there. But I think that these billboards too, we need to do something about that.
Yes.
And my national boss.
And that seems to be the job of the mayor.
Of course, but when disaster happens, it will be our responsibility. And I thought you asked me the last time.
Yes. So in your quest to prevent,
so
in your quest to prevent, what if you begin to step within the remit of the AMA, and then we get to have a problem on our hand? Or that?
Oh, I don't think we have a problem on our hands.
Problem like that. Okay.
What we're all trying to do, and I believe we're in collaboration with the AMA. If you saw earlier on, immediately the Accra Metropolitan Assembly boss was elected. Just right the next day, myself, the regional minister, and all the stakeholders, we were out in the street.
Okay.
And while the dredging was going on and the desilting was going on, we all went round to look at these things.
The last time we had a conversation, you mentioned that a military based kind of I've forgotten the word, but that you used at the time, that you have a group of people who are on standby.
We're working on putting a group of people on standby.
Yes,
but there's already some standby group.
Yeah, were their services were their services needed at this time when it rained?
For now, we haven't gotten to that level yet.
Okay.
But there's a standby team at the headquarters for Greater Accra, which has been zoned into 4 areas. Okay. One that is going to handle the Medina, Adenta areas. Okay. One that will be handling the Malam to Weja areas, and then one in the main Accra areas. There's been a division of those standby rapid response team. What we're trying to do was to get extra hands to join in because of
their services
the scope.
Weren't necessary this time round.
As at yesterday?
Yes, I mean after the rains.
No, of course. I was with the rapid response team leader,
okay.
the
they've already started
the director of operations. Yes.
I see. So who is the director of operations?
We have Abu Ramadan, who is a deputy director in charge of operations.
Abu Ramadan of
the one you know.
Of the PNC?
No, of Nadmo.
No, I mean Abu Ramadan that we know.
Yes.
He's the one. Okay,
yes,
so he's
Abu
the
Ramadan,
deputy director.
He's the deputy director of operations.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Well, let's talk about this issue that you mentioned. You said some ships have been docked somewhere, and we understand that mechanics are cutting some off.
Scrap dealers.
Scrap dealers, actually.
Yes.
Okay, help me understand this whole thing. How does it work?
I had a distress call from Pram Pram, from the residents, that some companies were docking the ships that they were not using at the Pram Pram beach, and therefore it was posing a danger. And of course, as I went there to see for myself and the team together, you realize that there were some 3 ships.
Okay, so this is one of those ships, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right, very well.
So what is happening here is, so this is a very big ship,
yes,
but parts of it have been sewn. So this is what's remaining.
That's right.
So what's going to
with
happen
this one, this is what the scrap dealers were even cutting them when we got there.
I see.
And there were some other 2, and then extra 2 that you could see that the scrap dealers had done some work on it, and it was left with remnants that were all protruding and very rusty.
So are you liaising with the Maritime Authority to get these ships out of the water?
The first thing I've done was to get the police to impound the vehicle and arrest the guys. They took them to the police station. The next step was to inform the district assembly of Ningo Pram Pram, and then subsequent to that to also inform my boss, who's the Nadmo Director General, about the incidents. I've also informed the Deputy Regional Minister, and
so
therefore,
how are we going to get this out of the
way
water?
forward is to have a stakeholders forum, so those were the scrap dealers that we had to stop.
So why are you arresting them anyway?
No, well, one of the guys said that they worked with the ship owners.
Yes, so they found a ship.
Yes, so
they have to take us to the owners.
So we know why they come and leave the sheep there.
So you've arrested them? I mean, the police
The
has
police,
arrested
yes.
them.
So they're going to
what?
interrogate them and get to know who really decided to dock the sheep there, if it is legal in the first place. Is it that anybody can just dump their sheep anywhere at all? What if toxic chemicals were left in these sheep? They're going to poison our water body, and we're going to all eat fish from that, and we're all going to get poisoned.
How dangerous is it, apart from the fishes that will the fish that will perhaps get poisoned? How dangerous is it keeping this bits of the ship in the water? Is it dangerous?
It is. The others, I don't know if you have the other pictures, they're quite very rusty.
Okay.
To the extent that the color of the beach, around the side, you could see that the whole brown, darkish brown, and very rusty. So to the extent that we want to promote tourism, people are going to be swimming in these waters. I think it is dangerous.
So why don't we just work on getting these things out of the water?
No, we'll have to do a couple of things.
Okay.
There are a couple of bodies that we need to talk to, and we need to involve. And like I said, the Maritime Authority is one, the Ghana Navy is one, Ghana Environmental Protection Agency is another, like you said, the Assembly and the regional administration, so that once these bodies work at ensuring that the appropriate authorities remove these ships from the sea, then the next step will be how to make sure that we patrol our water bodies so that people do not turn it into a dumping ground.
Okay. So
if they are supposed to take them somewhere for the state for them to pay something to the state, so that the state can be involved in decommissioning these ships, then we can do it from that point. But we cannot have a situation where we live in a country and people can just dump their ships that
in the water,
just in
the sea, okay,
and leave them to rust. I wish you had those pictures.
Those pictures.
Really bad.
Well, this looks quite bad anyway. But let's bring our conversation back to the what the rains have done in Accra and wrap it up there. So right now we're in the rainy season. Thankfully, nobody has died yet. We've not heard of major flooding across the city. Would you say that with what you have seen and the measures that you said you had put in place earlier, we're good to go at this point?
There's a lot more to be done, but the assurance is that we are not sitting and watching the situation. We're making the efforts, and the effort is to ensure that we do not lose lives, that we do not lose properties, that the media is on board with us in sensitizing people to the extent that we do not dump our waste into the drains, to the extent that, like I said the last time, the opportunity that we also give our emergency numbers out, so that when people are in very dire situations, they can call. To those extent, yes, this is happening also because, like I said, the mayor of Accra, very proactive young man, who is really moving to ensure that we are desilting.
Now that you're mentioning the mayor, how far with the dredging of the Odo River? Do you know?
I think I have no. I can get back to you on that.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. All right. Well, we'll say a very big thanks to you for passing through.
But you didn't take the emergency numbers.
The last time we took it, but you can, please put it down again.
We have 0299 350 030. And then we have
350-030.
Yeah, and then we have 0299. 350 434.
434. So you can just
And then the other one is 035.
035.
0299.
0299.
350.
350.
435.
435. So as we're still talking about we're still talking in the rainy season. These are emergency numbers for Nadmo that you can call if you have any situation that you need help to deal with, any flooding situation or anything of that sort. You can call these numbers 0299 350 030, 0299 350 434. and 0299-350-435. Those numbers will connect you to somebody at Nadmo, and they will be able to help you if you're going through anything like that. Thank you so much for passing through. Archibald Kobina is the director for Nadmo in the Greater Accra region, and we've been talking about what they're doing, what Nadmo is doing. So Nadmo says it's looking basically at prevention rather than managing situations, or rather than managing disasters. So they're embarking on according to them, embarking on an educational drive, and so they need the media to partner them. Well, you heard from Matilda Womega's interaction with the people today in Accra that people seem to be aware, but there's still a problem. People are still dumping in drains. So